What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Glad to see you. Today, we're going to be looking at a favorite amongst internet investors. That is ticker symbol SCHD, which a lot of people consider this to be a portfolio driver, income producer, a pretty solid ETF, which I do have to agree to an extent. It does exactly that. But I wanted to look at two other competitors to SCHD that may be worth exploring. Not because SCHD is bad, just because there are so many opportunities out there that potentially FDL and GCOW, which we'll get into, could be potential ETFs to add to the mix, or you might even want to replace SCHD. For those of you who don't know, FDL is the First Trust Morningstar Dividend Leaders ETF, and GCOW is the Pacer Global Cash Cow ETF. So global is something to kind of differentiate from FDL and SCHD. But let's go ahead and dive a little bit deeper here. So SCHD is trading around $30, FDL 50, and GCOW at 46. The performance year to date is actually a little bit varying from ETF. So SCHD is at 11.4, FDL 13.5, and GCOW 12.28. And then the 3-year SCHD is doing 25%, FDL 41, and the Global Cash Cow GCOW at 37.62. 5-year, we have SCHD at 25, FDL at 53, and GCOW at 50. So SCHD is getting overseen here if we're looking at the year-to-date, 3-year, and 5-year. Where SCHD really pulls ahead is the 10-year. SCHD is at 127%, FDL at 95.65, and GCOW at 73.59%. The main question I have, and you might have as well, is within the last 5 years, after the performance of the 5-year, the 10-year looks completely different. Did FDL and GCOW get different fund managers who really kick things into gear? Keep that question in the back of your mind as we do go through and look at more historical charts for all three of these ETFs. And I think it becomes quite clear where the fund or ETF made a significant adjustment. So looking at the different holdings here, SCHD holds the most stocks, assets at 106, FDL only holding 87, and the Global Cash Cow GCOW holding 102. Assets under management goes exactly in this order. SCHD at 84 billion, FDL at 7.3 billion, and our Global Cash Cow is at 3.27 billion. SCHD does have quite a bit of volume, so there is a lot of liquidity when you are trading in and out. But again, these are all companies I would hold long term. I wouldn't day trade these ones. FDL has 1.3 volume average, and GCOW has 359,000 shares traded on average as well per day. SCHD is the cheapest in terms of expense ratio, but you also have to look at the dividend. They offer a 3.45% dividend, so that is pretty nice. FDL does have a 0.43% expense ratio with a 3.64 dividend, so slightly higher. And then the Global Cash Cow has a 0.60% expense ratio with a nice dividend at 4.39%, which is the largest amongst the group. So let's go ahead and dive in a little bit deeper here. Let me shrink my head. So looking at SCHD for the top 10 holdings, we do have Chevron, an oil company, as the top holding at 4.39%. ConocoPhillips, another gas company, at 4.19%. Then we have Merck, which I believe is health related, at 4.16%. Coca-Cola, everybody knows that, at 4.03%. And then we see Pepsi at 3.91%. Texas Instruments at 4.02%. Verizon Wireless Mobile at 3.99%. United Healthcare, Amgen, and Procter & Gamble around 3.89%, all the way to 3.77%. Again, around 40% of the holdings. And again, SCHD has, I believe, 106 holdings. So 40% of that is in the top 10. So the remaining 60% is spread out across the 96 other stocks. So just keep that in mind. Looking at our Morningstar dividend leaders here, we do see gas and oil as the number 2. We have ExxonMobil, Chevron, again, Verizon at 7%, Pfizer, Merck, Pepsi, Altria Group, BMY, United Postal Service, and ConocoPhillips. The top 10 holdings here take in 57.4%, with the highest diversification in energy minerals at 24.8%, which is kind of crazy. And then moving on to our last one here, our global cash cow. First one is, I believe, the top 4, 5, 6, 7. The top 8 are in oil, gas and oil. Equinor, Total Energies, ExxonMobil, Chevron, ConocoPhillips, BP, Shell. Yeah, so a lot of oil here in the global cash cow, which does also make me think whoever's managing this ETF has to be on the ball. Because when we look at the global cash cow chart here, you're going to be amazed as to how quick they adapted with this whole Middle East turbulence here, because they captured that at a great time. So those are the 3 holdings across SCHD, FDL, and global cash cow. Let's now look at ownership here to look at trends. First one, SCHD, looking pretty nice here. We can see there was huge adoption late 2024. The fund essentially almost tripled over 2-3 months. So institutional ownership has peaked. So far, we have not seen additional institutional ownership go in thus far. However, I think we do need to give this more time to find a larger data set, but just look at the jump here from late 2024. So this shows me that popularity has been increasing over time, and it's not decreasing. Because if you look at my mouse here, it just continues to rise, and we have a large move here. Looking at our dividend leaders from Morningstar, you can see there was, can you see my mouse? There was interest, it increased, and it plateaued, decreased, and it's starting to rise again, with this last candle here representing growth. So again, that's something we need to watch because it might continue upward, exceeding our previous all-time highs in terms of institutional ownership there. Looking at global cash cow, look at the growth here. Just interest, insane interest continues to grow. And we're still kind of hanging on to the all-time high interest right here, which is crazy. So I think, again, more research into when the fund manager shifted, because they have been on a generational run, and we'll see that here in just a few minutes. Looking at our charts here for SCHD, very clean, very easy to potentially see dips. All of our opportunities to enter are based on these 3 different supports. Obviously, this third support here becomes more unrealistic for the potential stock price to hit. Having this stock go from 31 all the way back down to 10 to come back down to here does not seem, down here probably like $18, doesn't seem very realistic. So our areas to watch are definitely going to be this upper support here and this middle one as well as time does go on. But again, as SCHD continues to move forward, the fund managers are growing this ETF, and it's moving nicely. So that is going to be something to watch down the road. At the end of this slide, we'll have my overall thesis and more buy zones and supports and resistances clearly laid out for SCHD. So let's look at our dividend leaders here. Now look how This ETF just stayed perfectly in this channel, fell out, exceeded this channel, is now acting as support, and now we're trading in realms we've never seen before. I don't know if we had a major shift in fund managers, if there was some coaching at Morningstar, but this fund has really done very well over time. I mean, this chart speaks for itself. We're going to see some potential areas to enter, supports and resistances here in just a moment. And then Global Cash Cow, this one really, you can see, this is very interesting. It essentially traded at a ceiling for the longest time. And then I think we saw an ownership change in here, and this ETF just really took off. So absolutely amazing work there. Some more research into why this ETF got off the ground is required, but very nice consolidation. I would anticipate this channel has been tested so many times. We can see amazing resistance, amazing support, amazing bounce off support here, bounce off support there, bounce off support there, bounces off support there, resistance up here. I think it's only right that it comes back down for a support touch here in a minute, or not in a minute, but soon. Looking at our potential price targets and supports. So for SCHD, I do see a potential throwback with the stock is currently in an ascending triangle, which is typically a bullish, or I'm sorry, a bearish pattern. So what we could see here is the stock falling through down to this support, in my opinion, shaking out everybody. Essentially, that's when retail usually gets shaked out. And then a nice move upward. This measured move, typically within ascending triangles, does bring me to a price target of $42 at the end of the day. I don't have a specific time frame of when that's going to happen, but the measured move from our low of the ascending triangle to the high is then carried over from our essentially the ceiling of our ascending triangle upward. So I have $42 as a potential price target here. But as the stock may continue to fall, I think 27 is going to be a nice area to enter. And I do, if you are a SCHD fangirl, fanboy, this is obviously not a bad ETF to hold on to, dollar cost average into over time, because it's obviously just looking at all these charts are just beautiful and they continue to grow. So that is my thesis for SCHD. Looking at the Morningstar Dividend Leaders here, this one is just, again, gone insane. I do have a price target right here of this stock, or this ETF coming down. Excuse me. So this ultimate support around 42, bouncing off of this channel, which we see a beautiful test, beautiful test, beautiful test. Right there is where I would hope it would come down. I think potentially we see this in November 2026. But I do, if you are looking at getting into the Morningstar Dividend Leaders or the Global Cash Cows, do research on the fund managers, look at their history, and whatever they've done at each of those firms has significantly increased these SCHD competitors, in my opinion. And looking at our final Global Cash Cow, this again has been on an insane run. If you've been patient with this one, it's been consolidating for the longest time, and then it's just a huge reward here. The next area of support will be around $44, which should be, I think, around here. Potential areas for this to fall are going to be in line with where we've seen typical areas of support and resistance there, all the way coming down to this channel, which I believe is around the $38 level, which I do think will be a nice, healthy pullback in my opinion. The areas to watch again are going to be around the $39 to $41 levels. And I think the area of opportunity is going to be January 2027. So that is where we're going to see this ETF, I think, make or break. But so far it's been doing very well. How fast can they pivot from these oil and gas names into the next sector that's going to run? we'll find out. But if you guys made it this far, I appreciate you so much. Let me know what you guys think. Is SCHD uncompetable? Are these some good competitors for SCHD? Let me know what you think. Take care, and I'll see you soon.